Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and yesterday I said I got my new package of beads. Well, not just beads, mainly pendants actually, and things, charms and pendants from Beadbox Bargains that I had used my $50 credit from winning for the Peach Sorbet Gallery at, well, can't remember what they called it, gallery something. Anyway, I got a $50 store credit, so I got a whole bunch of things, which I showed this morning. As well as that, in the mail, I got a package from one of my followers. Now, she had emailed me a while back, said she has gotten arthritis in her hands and consequently wasn't able to do much wire work anymore. So she told me that since I was one of the few people that did wire work that she knew of, she wanted to send me a few things, namely books. I'm like, okay, sure, I'll take them, no problem. Well, that's what came yesterday. As well as the books, in the package was this box of beads. So there's some nice beads in here. She said this was filler to fill up the box, but there's not a lot of beads in here, but there are some, and a lot of them I believe came out of Beadbox Bargains things, because I remember seeing some of these, like these beads. I remember seeing these in one of my kits, as well as these leaves. They were definitely in one of the kits. So, like I say, a lot of these beads are actually from the kits, so that's pretty cool. One of the things that was in here is a couple of Z agates. Aren't those pretty? I have a thing for Z agates. I really like those. So anyway, all these wonderful beads were what she called filler. So let's set those aside though. So within there ended up being 5 books. 5 wonderful books. One of these books I actually have been wanting to buy. It's actually on my Amazon to be purchased list, but I haven't done it, of course. But now I don't need to, because that particular book was one of the books that she sent. This one, Making Wire and Bead Jewelry. So I was like, whoa, cool. This is one I have been wanting. So now I have it because this wonderful follower sent it to me. So let's turn down and we'll look, and I'll show you what the books are, and we'll look at a few pages. We're not going to look at a lot, but because 5 books. But we will look at some of them. And I think we'll be using some of these to show us to do some things in the future. This is book number 1, Handcrafted Wire Findings. Now, this is a cool book, and it is wire findings. There are some wonderful examples. Now, I don't have a what do you call it? It's a gun, heat gun, flame gun, whatever, fireproof. You need a fireproof workstation to use it, and I don't have one. So I have never gotten one, but this shows you how to make, it shows you how to make loops, which we all know how to do those. Anyway, I'm fairly positive we do. Shows you how to make earring wires, and see, there's a whole section on ear wires here. It looks like there's like 5 or 6 different ones here. And some of these are posts. See, this one is a post for sure here, as is this one. I don't know if you can see them. There we go. These 2 bottom ones are posts. And then it tells you how to make these. So it's really cool. Here's the kidney wires. It tells you how to make a kidney wire. French ear wires. Now these though have a little melted spot on the end to use your flame, your torch, wire torch, which like I said, I do not have because I don't have an area to work on use something like that. But lots of different fiddlehead ear wires. So this one is got all kinds of, this is the post, a spiral post. So those could be fun. Then the next section is links and connectors. Now some of these links are really cool. But again, we've got some of these are fused, you know, so that it takes a flame, which I don't have, which is a pity. But there are some really nice pieces. Now this one, the Sailor's Knot Link, we made something similar like to this in the Missing Link book, but I think this is cool. We may make a couple of these links so you can, to show how to make them like we did with the Missing Link. This would be fun. There's a wired ring link. This one looks fun to me, a twisted bead link. And a textured corkscrew link. Again, we've got flame for this one, probably to melt the wire down so it's easier to get it flat. Which is a pity that we don't have something like that, because this is a cool looking link. This one is also neat, but again, we have the fused ends here with the torch, which we can't do, but this one is a really cool one and would be relatively easy to make, the figure 8. And this yin and yang is another one which should be not too hard to make. Then the next one talks about S-hooks, and like a couple of these though are again have this is a nice one, this S-hook here. A couple of these though again have the melted metal end on them. So I can't do those. I don't have the capabilities. This one is cool, a S-hook clasp with a bead. And then we go into hook clasps. So anyway, this book is wonderful for making various components. There's a toggle clasp. So I think Asian toggle clasp, that one's an interesting looking one. We may have, anyway, like I say, I think that we will probably try some of these. We won't be able to do them all, obviously, because I don't have a torch. This is a nice one, lashed toggle clasp. We could certainly do that one. And then extras, it says. A knot spacer and a ribbon bail. Ribbon bail. It's interesting, but I actually think it's sort of ugly. Well, maybe not. I can see that this would be the bail place, and here's where we'd hang it on the wire. And then we'd have these two hanging down. So, no, not too bad. I think this one is interesting, the knot spacer. And this is actually just two bunches of, like if you were going to make some jump rings, rather than cutting them apart, you leave them together and you make two, and then you just put this on the second one onto the first one like you would a split ring. Just coil it around. And then it's got some a gallery with a few odds and ends things of what they've made and how they used them. So that book again is handcrafted wire findings. And I think this one is great. I can see us making a few of those in a series. The second book is Wire Work by Dell Cougar Armstrong. Now, I haven't really looked through this one that much, so let's do so. Oh, there's a ring bezel. Interesting. Those are pretty, aren't they? So I'm sure it's going to tell us how to make a great number of these. I do like these earrings. This is not hard. I could do that pretty fast. Tells you about the gauges of wire here. I've never used anything below 12. So 2, whoa, that must be difficult. So then we have a list of various tools. They're talking about making rings here. Well, we wanted to make some rings, so we were talking about doing those next week, so maybe that's one of the things we'll work on. They do have some pretty ones in here. This is a pretty one. And it's got pretty detailed instructions on how to make those. Now we're going on to bracelets. Now, one thing about making bracelets, I just use my arm to form them normally. Now we're on to earrings, and there's some pretty earrings in here. I think these are sort of boring, but they're pretty. But I really like these. Those are really nice. Gem drop earrings. And then there's some and now we're at pendants and necklaces. Now this is what I was looking at earlier where I said, oh, this one's got a bezel. So there's a fish. This is the one we were talking about, the prongs on it. So that one might be fun to try. Then it's talking about the necklace base here, this piece. A neck collar. Now this just looks like 2 pieces of wire that they've twisted together. Easier said than done. This is pretty. Oh, you probably can't see that. There you go. This bracelet's pretty basic. This one's fancier. It's pretty. These earrings I like. There's some more rings. So anyway, this one is called Wire Work. An illustrated guide to the art of wire wrapping by Dell Cougar Armstrong. So that was a cool one. Now this is the one book that I was saying that I had wanted, that I had been looking at Amazon and have been considering purchasing. Making Wire and Bead Jewelry, Artful Wirework Techniques by Janice Berkebile and Tracy Stanley. So this one looks like, this one I've been really wanting. So that was, when I saw this in the box, I was like, oh, whoa, that's the one I want. So that was really exciting to me to get this one. So let's see what all is in here. Now, like I said, I don't have enough room for you to see the whole book, unfortunately. But it's got some really pretty pieces in here. Talks about tools and materials, some of which I have and some of which I don't have. So, and then talks about the beads, the various kind of beads. Shells, pearls, I have some stones. Those are Lake Superior stones that I have. Gemstones, silver beads, crystals. Then we have wire techniques, it starts out with. And one of the first things they're teaching you how to do is make jump rings, which is quite simple, and I showed you how to do those the other day. Then we're going to be, it says forging paddles. Now, this is, there's the regular paddle over here, and then these are spiral ones over here. So those are pretty cool. We'll make a paddle one of these days. I have never shown you how, but I should, because they're pretty cool. So this is a nice little ring here. It's putting a bead in a loop. Making spiral caps on your beads. And clasps, which we talked about in the other book. Finishing. Well, one of the things they say about finishing is antiquing and using liver of sulfur, which I don't use. Stuff stinks. If you're going to use liver of sulfur, you need to have a place where you have a lot of air. This is cool. Called them dog bone earrings. These are cool. I like these. Couple of different ones here. Here's another set of the same earring over here. Oh, this is cool. A dog bone bracelet. They've taken these dog bone links that they've made and then wrapped them. I like that. That is really pretty. This would also make a pretty earring too, just with the hanging down from that to the dog bone link there. So I don't know if you can see the link here. There it is. It's pretty cool looking. The Go-To bracelet. It looks like this is mainly wrapped links across your bead and then double, instead of a single jump ring, like a spiral coil. So here's some chain and bead, which we've made some similar to those before. I have made some like this before. All you really need to do is make 2 spirals, bend it over, put a bead inside, and then squish the spiral down over the bead. So that's pretty cool. And they are fun to make. Haven't made one in a long time, but they are fun to make. This one is a spiral link bracelet. This is cool. And it shows how to make this spiral link over here on this page. So maybe this is one of those links that we'll definitely learn how to make, because it's got some pretty detailed instructions, and that's excellent. My beach bracelet. Boy, there's a long list of things for this beach bracelet. Cornflake pearls. Beach pebble bracelet. Now this is more or less the same, except for it uses stones instead of shells to put it together. Wire wrap pendant. Pretty fun. Coil drop pendant. This is neat. I like this. We're going to have to try that, I think. Looks like it's just mainly just wrapping. So, wire wrapped bangle. Encrusted earrings. This is, they've just taken the wire and just put lots and lots of little beads that have been put on a pin on it, like a cha-cha almost, but no chain in between, just dropping them all down on there. Coils and beads. All-in-one wire-wrapped bracelet. It's interesting. Got to remember, though, something like this is a bangle because it doesn't have any segments in it. It's one piece that they've worked out. Oh, that's pretty. Cascading waterfall gem pendant. I like that. And I can see how to make it, too, from just looking at it. But there is instructions, of course, over here. I like it. I like it a lot. That would make pretty earrings, too. Gypsy wire pendant, another thing that would make pretty earrings. I can see us doing one of these, too. Okay, cage it. So they're showing how to make a background cage for a piece to bring it over and around. Now, this is sort of like, it's got the spider webby thing in the back, sort of like when we made the snowflake from our own wire, how it was made. So, and that works also for a ring, as it shows us here. Looks like Vintage Wire Techniques page, little booklet in here. Cool. So this is a ring. Rock and Roll by the Sea. So it got a rock up there and a pearl in the middle, and then it looks like various rocks and pearls dropping down. I don't know if I can get it so you can see the picture better. So, pretty fun. And like I say, there are instructions for all of these pieces in here. So this is going to acorn caps, this next one. And this is a wire pod. Cascading spirals bracelet. That looks pretty. Might have to try something like that. Bloom. I don't really care for that. So it looks like we're at the end here. It just has some more various pictures of different necklaces that the authors have made. So that is our book, Making Wire and Bead Jewelry, Artful Wirework Techniques. This one is going to be fun to use. Our next book is Wire and Metal, 30 Easy Metal Smithing Designs. Now, this one I may not be able to do. I suspect, since it says it's metal working, that we're going to have a lot of fire work with it. So let's take a quick gander through it and see what we got here. Come on, book. It's getting hung up on some of my pieces I have sitting around here. Metal 101. Okay, it says different metals over here. Talks about measuring and cutting. I have some of these tools, but not all of them. I do have these. Yeah, working with flame. Yeah, that's the thing. Now see, I don't have this giant punch. I do not have a torch, so I cannot work with flame, so balling the end of wire, yep. Texturing. I do have this particular hammer here. This is my chasing hammer. I do have some imprint pieces here. I rarely use them, but I do have some. I do have a Sizzix. Forming. This is cool. I have a dapping block and punches, but mine is wooden rather than metal. And sometimes I think I need to get the metal one because it's got some more oomph to it. I have the bench block. Now was talking about cold connections. This is for if you're going to do a rivet. I haven't tried doing a rivet on metal before, though I do have some rivets that I usually put in leather or something like that. E6000 is one of my main go-tos. Patina and color. Okay, so this is part of the book is by using different kinds of things to color things, and then finishing. This is more like just files and such, and of course there's a few other odds and ends things here. I usually do a sealer on my things that I paint and such. And now this is, they said, a spinner. Now this is interesting. I don't think you would need any heat for this. So you probably could just cut, it looks like 4 pieces of metal just sort of put together. So that's interesting. This looks like they've did some impression and then painted a little on top of it. Now this I like better. I think this is cool. They've obviously used a die and went through some light metal, and then they punched holes in the side and puts the jump rings with the seed bead or whatever in those. See if it states. Well, it says it's check glass 5mm rondelles is what it says these are. And it says this piece here is actually a 30 by 50mm vintage natural brass tag, which they've obviously cut some along the. Now these tell you what you need, and they even have a slight description here, but it's not nearly as worked up as some of them are as far as the descriptions are concerned, but it is pretty trippy. So this is another one that doesn't look like it's too difficult. It looks like they've just taken a photo and put it on a piece of copper sheeting that they have textured around the edges. Another set of pieces that they've either found a piece that had the holes in it already or cut the holes. Now this says silverware, which means that it probably was. No. It says, well, it says it needs a torch for this one. So this is one I couldn't do. I don't have a torch. Some of these I really like, and others I'm a little bit ambivalent about. Like, it's all right, but it's not really doing, blowing my skirt up any. But this is interesting, though I think I'd want something on this band, some patterning or something. This is cool. Some of these pieces look a little primitive to me, but some of them are quite interesting. This is neat. This one's pretty basic over here on this side. Oops, missed one. Bubbles, huh? This one looks like they are making a lariat out of it over here. Again, things I don't have the tools to make, though they are pretty cool. I do like this. And it looks like we're into some templates to make some of the pieces back here. Of course, you have to have the metal to do that, but they're pretty neat. So there is our wire and metal easy metal smithing designs. Like I said, I'm not sure how much I'm going to use that book because, let's face it, I do not have some of the tools necessary for it. And our last book is Contemporary Copper Jewelry, Step-by-Step Techniques and Projects by Sherilyn Miller. This says it includes an instructional DVD. I wonder, oh yeah, there it is, back here in the back. There is a DVD in here, cool. So let's take a quick look at this one. This is our last book. So, Contemporary Copper Jewelry. Now, some of these I think we can probably do. We'll have to see what it entails. Basic techniques. Well, most of us know our basic techniques already. Anyway, I certainly do. We're talking about using liver of sulfur again, which I won't use. Maybe in the summertime when you can do it outside when it doesn't stink so much, but not around here. So now they're making a copper bracelet, spiral bracelet with wire charms. Okay. That one is, this looks sort of like the piece we used to make the earrings the other day. Peacock wheels. I'm not sure. I don't really care for that. But it does say how to make them. Found Pebbles necklace. Now this is what you want to use for stones that don't have holes. Tells you how to wrap those up. Funky chandelier earrings. Well, they're definitely funky. I think I would, being the picky person I am, I think I would form these better, but they're interesting. I don't mind those. We might be able to try something like that. Copper washer bracelet. This is washers, according to this, with coin pearls in the middle. I think we could make that. Just would have to get the washers. I'm not sure if I have any coin pearls that would fit in there, but I do have some coin pearls, but I don't know if they'd fit in there. So we could use some other kind of coin beads. Wire woven pendant. Sorry, I think it's a little ugly. These are cool. Forged paddle earrings. And relatively simple to make, probably. You could definitely make those. Let's see, round, dead soft copper wire 12 gauge. 3 inches, 4 inches of round, dead soft sterling silver, 22 gauge wire. I don't have that. 6 inches of round, dead soft sterling silver, 20 gauge wire. Well, I have 20 and 22 in German style, so that would have to be what we'd use. Those are cool. We could try some of those. Coin pearl coil wrapped pendant. Oh, bracelet, excuse me. Again with the coin pearls. Let's see, toggle clasp, head pin, silver heart-shaped beads. Oh, just this one. Coin pearls, copper wire in a 24 gauge. They really want us to use the dead soft wire. I'm not really into too much dead soft wire. This is interesting. Doesn't look too bad. Elemental necklace. I've made one similar to this before. But when I did, I used beads. These look like they're stones that have no holes, so it's still, I like those. Embellished copper washer earrings. Copper washers. Metal spacers. Gemstone or pearl beads. Wire and head pins. Yeah, we could make those. Those would be relatively simple. I just need to get me some washers. Artsy fibula pin. Not too much into pins. Cool copper bangle. Interesting. Copper diameter tubing. Interesting. Tubing, huh? Never would have thought of using tubing. Looks like the stuff they use for plumbing. Interesting. Some more of the washer earrings, which I think are cute. I like these. They've just taken, looks like regular washers that you can buy at the hardware store and textured them quite a bit and hooked them together. Those are really nice. Oh, and look, there's a little bolt up here at the top to hook them together. That's cool. I like those. We could definitely make those. I just have to get some washers. Sombrero ring. Yeah, no, doesn't do anything for me. Single loop chain. Now, I have seen this before. In fact, our other book here that I had that has all the links in it has this particular link listed as one of the links. And all this is copper wire that they've formed our links and then hammered them down and then hooked them together with jump rings. So this would be a really simple bracelet, and I think it's pretty. Again, not a hard, this is a simple bracelet. Looks like spiral links. There's another pretty pair of earrings, sticks and stones. A spider weave pendant. That's pretty cool. Looks like a spider here in this picture, doesn't it? Now we have a spiral fibula pin. Like I said, I'm not much into pins. This is pretty cool looking, but I'm not much into pins. Though you could make it into an earring, just don't bring the pin part down and just right there. Make two, them going in opposite directions, be really cute. Those are an interesting earring again. Swinging perch, they call it. And again, I don't think these would be too difficult. I think we could do those easily enough. And twining vines bracelet. Now this is, the vines are right here as they come around and sort of spiral around each other from either side of the bead, it looks like. Those are pretty cool. And it looks like a spiral hook earring. Now they've taken this top spiral here and made an earring hook with it here. Of course, if you didn't want to make an earring hook here, because I probably wouldn't, you could just make the loop at the top that you would normally use where the spiral comes down here, where your earring would form. You could just make a loop here to hook onto. And that is the end of this wonderful book. So there are my 5 books: Contemporary Copper Jewelry, Wire and Metal. This is the one we will probably use the least because it does have a lot of torch stuff in it, and I don't have torch because I don't have a safe place to use a torch. Our Contemporary Copper Jewelry, I saw a few things in there we definitely want to try. This, like I said, is the book that I've been wanting for some time, and so I was really excited to see it. I noticed quite a few things in this we can do. The wire workbook, there are some things I wouldn't mind trying, like some of the earrings in here and such. I think these might be fun. And then, of course, back to our handcrafted wire findings, which we definitely could do a little series on doing some of these, because some of these I'm sure we could do. So there are our 5 books that we got from our follower, and I have to say I am really thrilled with these. I think these are great, and I definitely see some things that we are going to be working on in these. And then, of course, we also have our beads that she sent us. So there are some beads we can use on some of our projects here. So I was really excited to get these. I think they're great, and I hope you enjoyed looking at them with me. I certainly have enjoyed looking at them, and I think that they're going to be super fun to work with. So again, handcrafted wire findings, wire work, making wire and bead jewelry, the one I'm most excited about, contemporary copper jewelry. There were quite a few things in here I thought we could work out too, and the wire and metal easy metal smithing designs, which, like I say, I probably won't use too much because I don't have a place to do torches, but I enjoyed these books. I was really thrilled to get them, and I hope you, like I say, I hope you enjoyed looking through them with me, and we'll have to decide which projects we want to do in some of these, or some of these pieces, so we can learn a few little things. I think that'll be fun. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.